are you daydreaming in class again?
Yeah.
You know, Billy, you're never gonna get anywhere in life if you keep creating fantasies in your head.
See, that's where you're wrong, Teach. I can actually make a ton of use out of the fantasy ideas in my head, cause I'm using World Anvil.
What are you talking about?
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, no, that wasn't an invitation to—
World Anvil is a website with all the tools people need to create, organize, and store their very own made-up world. It's a combination of world building, writing, and game mastering desktop software. With 25 world building article templates, people can create wiki-style articles, interactive maps, and custom timelines, allowing them to plot events across both time and space. Plus, there's full novel writing software for aspiring authors or extended universe creators.
And yet you've never turned in an essay.
It's also great for creating RPG campaigns. There's over 45 supported systems, including Dungeons & Dragons 5e. And heck, even if you're not the DM, you can still use World Anvil to manage all of your different characters.
Wait, you're a child. You don't have money for something like that.
That's the best part. All I had to do was enter the coupon code MYTH, and I got a 40% discount on any yearly plan.
40%?
I know, huh? So suck it, Mr. Teacherton.
See me after class.
These Atlantean-looking enemies are apparently called Tritons. In the myths, Triton is not a title or a race of creatures. Triton is simply the name of Poseidon's son and heir. Many people these days know him as King Triton. These little wretch enemies are not a thing in Greek mythology. That's not exactly how Scylla looks in the myths. Granted, she's been depicted a few different ways. Sometimes she's a giant seven-headed sea serpent, sometimes she has dog heads instead of snake heads, sometimes she's a woman with 6 dogs protruding from her body, and sometimes it's some combination of those. Either way, it's very different from what we see here. Also, Scylla doesn't hang out near Atlantis, she's pretty much always at the entrance of the Mycenaean Strait across from Charybdis.
We are searching for him! The ghost of Sparta! Run for your lives!
Not sure if this counts as an inaccuracy, but why would the Atlanteans be attacking their own people? They're not mindless monsters. Well, according to Plato, Atlantis was actually founded by a group of people who were half god, half human.
How I have missed you, Kratos.
What treachery is this? Another trick of the gods?
No, my son. It is me.
Kratos' mother was not some mortal woman, she was the personification of the river Styx.
We do not have much time, Kratos. Your brother does not have much time. Kratos in mythology did have a brother, but he wasn't named Deimos. He was Zealous, the god of jealousy. The only character in Greek mythology named Deimos is the god of terror, and that Deimos is a son of Ares and Aphrodite. No direct relation to Kratos.
Callisto in mythology was actually one of the huntresses of Artemis who was tricked into sleeping with Zeus. She ended up getting transformed into a bear by Artemis as punishment for breaking her vow of celibacy. Maybe her transforming into a monster in this game is supposed to be a nod to that? I'm not sure. Harpies do not have fiery, explosive abilities in Greek mythology. Alright, so this game has some kind of volcano-based titan named Thera. This character is not in Greek mythology at all. There is a real-world Greek volcano named Thera, but that's about it. There were only ever 2 Minotaur horns in mythology, yet Kratos finds several more than that in this game. Also, Minotaur horns have nothing to do with fire.
The battle with Scylla had shaken the very foundation of Poseidon's kingdom. Atlantis was sinking.
Well, according to Plato, it was the gods who caused Atlantis to sink as punishment for how immoral the people had become. Man, gods really seem to enjoy drowning immoral people. No, it's named after Heracles. That's why it's called Heraklion and not Herculeon. Interestingly enough, Greek skeleton warriors, or Spartoi, do not come from the remains of fallen soldiers. They are actually created by planting dragon teeth in soil. These enemies are called Kyries wraiths. There were only ever 2 Kyries in Greek myth, and yet we encounter several more in this game. Also, these things shouldn't be a threat at all, because the Kyries were actually incapable of killing people. Much like vultures, they just watched people die and then fed on their remains. These enemies are called Gurions. In Greek myth, there was only ever one Gurion, and he didn't have 4 arms on one body. He actually had either 3 heads or 3 separate bodies all standing on the same 2 legs. He also didn't have teleportation powers. Gurion was slain by Heracles, not Kratos. Harpies do not have ice powers. This, whatever it is not in Greek mythology.
Erinis, the daughter of Thanatos, the god of death.
No, Erinis is another name for the 3 Furies, whose parents are Gaia and Uranus. Thanatos never had any children. He did have some sisters, including the Kyries I mentioned earlier, the spirits of violent death. Not sure why the devs didn't just make them the boss fight here instead.
After the Great War with the Titans, the Oracle had foretold the demise of the Olympian gods and the destruction of Olympus. She saw that it would be brought about not by the hands of the Titans, who thirsted for revenge, but by the hands of a mortal, a marked warrior.
I'm honestly surprised Zeus didn't just swallow the kid, considering that's what Greek deities seem to do when oracles make predictions like that. The Piraeus lion wasn't really a live creature in mythology. It's actually just a famous statue. It's cool to see it getting some recognition, though. This skull of Kyries seems to have horns, even though Kyries weren't depicted with horns. I know this is gonna shock people, but Spartan spears were not capable of endlessly regenerating when thrown. For anyone wondering, yes, Boreas does carry a conch shell which can channel his powers, though I have no idea why he'd leave it lying around in some shrine when he typically keeps it with him. Midas eventually managed to restore his daughter, but that doesn't happen in this game.
I'm warning you!
King Midas's golden touch applies to every part of his body, not just his hands. We know this because food and drink both turn to gold in his mouth. So, Kratos should be gold right now, and so should everything Midas is wearing, along with the ground he's currently standing barefoot on.
It is not too late to turn back, Kratos. No good will come of this journey. The gods...
I am done with the gods! Return to Olympus and leave me be.
Why would there be a statue of Athena in Atlantis? Poseidon and Athena don't exactly get along, so I doubt he'd want that in his kingdom.
The domain of death. A dark netherworld, nestled between the land of the living and the realm of the dead. A purgatory, ruled by the god of death, Thanatos.
But according to Hesiod, Thanatos lives in the underworld with his brother Hypnos. Pretty sure the underworld is the land of the dead.
Worshipped long before the Olympians, Thanatos, the god of death, dwelled within.
For anyone wondering, Thanatos is indeed older than the Olympians.
Brother, you are safe now. Safe! You let this happen to me. You were supposed to protect me.
The fact that Deimos has been here for about 30 years and yet his hair and beard are still nicely trimmed leads me to believe that Thanatos has taken it upon himself to cut Deimos' hair for him. However, according to Greek myth, when Thanatos cuts the hair of a mortal, they die. Yes, that's actually a thing, and Deimos is clearly still alive, so something ain't right here. This game gives Thanatos a lot of crow iconography, including having crows as some of his minions, but in Mythology, Thanatos' animal symbol was actually a butterfly.
The oracle may have yet spoken truth. The marked warrior shall bring about the destruction of Olympus.
This is honestly a pretty good Thanatos design. Also, props for giving Thanatos a sword instead of a scythe, since that's actually more accurate. We're still missing the inverted torch, though. Thanatos does not have an ultimate kaiju form. It's cool and all, but still inaccurate. Also, why hasn't his mother Nyx shown up to help? She showed up when his twin brother Hypnos was threatened by Zeus, so why doesn't she do the same for Thanatos? Favoritism is not healthy, Nyx.
It is done. You have let go of that which made you mortal. Your ties to this world are severed. You are ready to be a god.
Plenty of the gods have ties to the mortal world, whether through taking mortal lovers, having mortal children, Artemis with her huntresses. Even Athena has an adopted mortal son named Erichthonius.
It is not over. The gods will pay for this.
Forgive me, brother.
Well, more like second cousin if we go by the mythically accurate parentage.
Hey, thanks for watching, and a big thank you to all the wonderful people on Patreon who made this video possible. Gameboy64, Lilith Jade Vaughn, Sage Tide, Gilda Ramos, Mr. Man, Spencer Davidson, Double Ditto, Anthony Miano, CJ the Boy, Gina Adams, Justin Brown, Matthew Owen, Carrie692, Darkling, Gavin Lothar, Justin Pruitt, Zaggard, Adam, Alex, Awkward Swan, BioGeek932, Bloody Sovi, Bo Axe Predator, Kane Kendrick, Carson Price, Chris Hicks, Christopher D. Sampson II, Krill E. Dara, Damian Fireheart, Dominic Fournier Bessner, Dubious, Eddie Habalon, James H., Jeff Jeffington, Cade, Lady Aaron, Lassie Ehrenreich, Larakia, Marco Gonzalez, Maria Potter, Matt Dioguardo, Miranda Annette, Muhammad Al Dobson, Nathaniel Frey, Orthus, Renji Killer, Robert Ray, Stephen Pilko, Sunsinger, The Jesus, The Last, Travis Warren, Trivia Enterprises, Woozle, Aggie, and Mag's Story. Couldn't have done it without you guys. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, get access to certain posts and earlier access to videos before they go up on YouTube because of all the stupid copyright BS that doesn't allow me to put stuff up right away, or see the videos that never made it onto YouTube because of the copyright BS, also be able to message me directly and get your name into the credits of videos like this, consider supporting on Patreon. I'm the Mythology Guy, and I don't know how to end videos.